Hello there, I'm Nadia Azmi and this is Nightline, the top stories. PM orders immediate aid and fast-track repairs for Sabah flood victims. And the US vetoes UN Gaza ceasefire call again despite genocide findings. Good morning. We begin the bulletin with this story. The United States on Thursday again wielded its veto power and thwarted a UN Security Council call for a ceasefire in Gaza for the sixth time, shielding its ally Zionist regime from meaningful diplomatic pressure. 14 other members backed the motion, first introduced in August after the UN declared a famine in the territory nearly 2 years into the war against Hamas. The vote comes as Israeli tanks and warplanes pounded Gaza City in a major new offensive, sending Palestinians fleeing south. Denmark's UN ambassador said the resolution was a clear message that the Council is not turning its back on starving Palestinians or the hostages. Pakistan's ambassador, meanwhile, called the US veto a dark moment for the Council. The resolution had demanded an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire along with the release of all hostages. Meanwhile, Wisma Putra, in an immediate response, has voiced deep concern over the veto exercised at the UNSC meeting, which blocked the ceasefire resolution. The Foreign Ministry, in a statement on Friday, said the use of veto powers would only embolden Israel to continue what it described as acts of genocide and destruction in the occupied Palestinian territory. It added that Malaysia reaffirms its unwavering support for the establishment of an independent and sovereign Palestinian state and will continue to work with the international community in pursuit of peace and justice for the Palestinian people. As hopes for a ceasefire fade, the Israeli army is mobilizing near the heart of Gaza City, forcing tens of thousands of Palestinians onto coastal roads in a bid to drive them out of the Strip's main urban center. Palestinians reported relentless attacks, including drone strikes, fighter jet raids and blasts from remote-controlled robots, with entire neighborhoods being destroyed as the Zionist forces advanced. The European Union warned that the last remaining lifelines for civilians in Gaza City are collapsing as Israel steps up its military campaign to seize control. In a wider escalation, Israel also launched airstrikes on 5 towns in southern Lebanon, despite a November truce that had ended more than a year of hostilities and 2 months of open warfare with Hezbollah. The death toll in Gaza has now risen to at least 65,141, with over 165,000 others injured. Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim wants the distribution of aid to flood and landslide victims in Sabah and repairs to damaged infrastructure in the state to be carried out immediately. During his visit to Sabah on Friday, the Prime Minister ordered that repairs to damaged buildings and road infrastructure be made a priority and be expedited without going through the usual process. Among the focus of Anwar's visit was the Gaya Teacher Education Institute campus in Kota Kinabalu, which sustained damage after being hit by a landslide on Monday. Anwar said Education Minister Fadlina Siddiq had submitted an initial report to the Cabinet on Wednesday.
Kita menunggu hanya laporan akhir yang saya minta semuanya segera. Saya tak mahu ikut proses biasa kerana banjir ini dan kerusakan ini bukan proses biasa. Dan kalau kita buat proses biasa, nak siapkan jalan kemudahan terlalu lama. Oleh itu kita dah minta supaya proses itu dipercepatkan.
The Prime Minister added that infrastructure repair efforts and aid distribution to disaster victims will be coordinated between the federal government and the Sabah state government to ensure they can be carried out immediately. For now, he said he has approved an immediate allocation of 10 million ringgit through the National Disaster Management Agency or NADMA to assist flood victims in Sabah. Meanwhile, the Education Ministry said students affected by floods can continue classes through home-based teaching and learning when schools reopen after the midterm break. Students in flood-hit areas have also been exempted from wearing school uniforms. In a statement on Friday, the MOE said cleaning and maintenance works at schools affected by the floods are being intensified as part of preparations for the reopening after the second term break. The ministry has also offered various forms of assistance to students, such as learning materials and psychosocial and emotional support. Affected parents, guardians, teachers, officers and staff have been advised to inform their schools or state education departments of their situation. As of Friday, 69 schools have been affected, 38 in Sabah and 31 in Sarawak. More than 1,000 out of 34,000 slopes along federal roads nationwide are at a high risk of collapse ahead of the northeast monsoon season. Works Minister Datuk Seri Alexander Nanta Linggi said the slopes identified as high risk are under close surveillance through the Public Works Department's Disaster Operations Room known as Big Ben. Nanta said the Big Ben system enables the ministry to monitor disasters such as floods, landslides, road subsidence and bridge damage in near real time. The information obtained through the system will then be shared with the public to provide updates on road conditions and alternative routes. 1,066 of the slopes are located in Peninsular Malaysia, 13 in Labuan, 7 in Sabah and 1 in Sarawak. Commenting on the floods in Sabah, Nanta said the disaster involved 10 slopes.
Untuk membantu secara teknikal, sebab di sana ada pihak tertentu juga, JK Sabah ada dan pihak lain ada. Jadi kita JK ni biasanya membantu dari segi technical advisory.
The Public Works Department has also provided over 200 metres of Bailey Bridge for emergency use. The targeted RON95 petrol subsidy will only be accessible when a person's MyCard successfully verifies the recipient's identity during refuelling at petrol stations. Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail has therefore urged Malaysians to immediately check and ensure that their MyCard chip is functioning properly and isn't faulty.
Penting untuk saya sampaikan sekarang kerana penggunaan MyCard akan menjadi lebih intensif apabila kita laksanakan program subsidi bersasar. Kerana bila pembelian minyak dibuat nanti, kita pergi ke pump. Sebelum ini, kita masukkan kad kredit atau kad debit kita, kemudian loyalty card kita. Kemudian isi minyak lah. Sekarang ada satu lagi. Kita mesti mulakan dengan memasukkan MyCard dulu. Mengesahkan kita rakyat Malaysia.
Saifuddin said this after officiating the Madani Adopted Village Corrective Community Program at the Malaysian Prisons Department's Kuala Muda Reintegration Centre in Sungai Petani, Kedah on Friday. He added that MyCard verification is crucial as more than 2 million fuel transactions take place daily at over 4,000 stations nationwide. The minister said those who need to replace their MyCard chips can do so at any National Registration Department counter nationwide. According to the department, IT handles about 1,000 cases of damaged MyCard replacements daily, equivalent to 30,000 a month or 360,000 annually. The price of RON95 petrol will be reduced to RM1.99 per litre by the end of this month, in line with the government's commitment to ensuring people enjoy lower fuel prices compared with actual market rates. Malaysia will continue to position the halal industry as a key economic model and will make it part of bilateral discussions with world leaders. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the industry's growth is driven largely by micro, small and medium enterprises or MSMEs. Speaking at the launch of the Global Halal Summit 2025 in Kuala Lumpur on Friday, Anwar said the halal industry has begun gaining global traction, including in non-predominantly Muslim countries.
The halal industry, therefore, has consistently been a vital sector contributing to Malaysia's economic development. And because of its universal appeal to all segments of society, halal products and services are now an increasingly popular choice among consumers, including those in predominantly non-Muslim countries.
He added that nearly 10,000 MSMEs have been certified by the Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, or JAKIM, for their full compliance with halal standards. Malaysian halal certification has been registered and recognized in nearly 50 countries, in line with international standards. Anwar also highlighted that Malaysia has maintained its top position in the Global Islamic Economic Indicator for 11 consecutive years. The halal sector is projected to contribute 231 billion ringgit to the nation's gross domestic product by 2030, driven by strong demand in food, finance and tourism. Commenting on the Thailand-Cambodia conflict, Anwar said Malaysia has engaged with both countries following renewed tensions along the border.
Kita dok bincang semalam, saya bincang dengan Perdana Menteri Thailand, Perdana Menteri Cambodia. Semalam saya duduk.
He, however, did not disclose the details of the discussions. On Thursday, another flare-up erupted after Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet accused Thailand of preventing more than 20 families from returning to their homes in a disputed border area. He also claimed that Thailand had expanded the conflict zone by erecting barbed wire, setting up blockades and carrying out forced evictions. Thailand, on the other hand, accused Cambodian villagers of illegally encroaching into its territory. On July 28th, Anwar chaired a special meeting in Putrajaya with Hun Manet and then Thai acting Prime Minister Pumtam Wechayachai, which resulted in an immediate and unconditional ceasefire. 8 men are due to be charged over an altercation in Kampung Sungai Baru on September 11th that left Dang Wangi District Police Chief ACP Sulismi Effendi Sulaiman injured. Deputy Kuala Lumpur Police Chief DCP Datuk Muhammad Yusof Jan Muhammad said the investigation papers, which were first submitted to the Deputy Public Prosecutor on September 17th but returned with further instructions, were resubmitted on Friday with charge recommendations against the suspects. Muhammad Yusof said the 8 men have been released on police bail after their remand expired. So far, a total of 67 statements have been recorded to assist in investigations. These include statements from 52 police witnesses, including the Dang Wangi OCPD himself, along with 3 court officers, 2 members of the Civil Defence Force, and a medical officer from Kuala Lumpur Hospital. Statements were also recorded from a lawyer, a witness representing the residents, a company director, and a woman who is the guardian of one of the suspects. On September 11th, Sulismi sustained a head injury during a court-ordered eviction process in Kampung Sungai Baru, where he was believed to have been hit by a rock thrown by an individual. The inquest into the death of Zahra Khairina Mahathir was postponed on Friday after details involving a child witness were leaked. Coroner Amir Shah Amir Hassan expressed disappointment over the matter, saying it disrupted proceedings on the 10th day of the inquest. Amir Shah stressed that the public must be reminded of the importance of safeguarding information, warning that leaks or interference can jeopardize the integrity of the inquest. The child witness, referred to as Student A, was said to have felt threatened following the disclosure. Amir Shah instructed the witness's lawyer, Datuk Ram Singh, to lodge a police report so that appropriate action can be taken. Ram revealed that the details had gone viral even before they were formally presented in the coroner's court. Earlier, Chief Warden Azhari Abdul Sagab testified that Student A had taken more than 2 weeks of medical leave following Zahra's death on July 16th. Student A is one of 5 teenagers allegedly linked to acts of bullying against the 13-year-old victim. The inquest will resume on Monday. A fire at a people's housing project in Kota Damansara, Selangor on Friday evening destroyed 5 food stalls and damaged 5 vehicles. State Fire and Rescue Department Operations Assistant Director Ahmad Mukhlis Mokhtar said firefighters from the Sungai Buloh station were immediately dispatched to the scene after they received a call about the incident at 6:06 p.m. The blaze was brought under control about 20 minutes later, although extinguishing efforts are still ongoing. Personnel from the Damansara, Petaling Jaya and Hartamas fire and rescue stations were also deployed to assist in the operation. No casualties have been reported. Malaysia's total trade rose 3.8% year-on-year in the first 8 months of 2025, reaching 1.98 trillion ringgit. According to the Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry, or MITI, exports rose nearly 4% to 1.03 trillion ringgit, while imports climbed 3.6% to 945 billion ringgit, giving a surplus of 86 billion ringgit. However, MITI said Malaysia's August 2025 trade eased slightly by 1.9% year-on-year to 247.07 billion ringgit amid shifting global trade conditions, although exports grew for the second consecutive month by 1.9% to 131.6 billion ringgit. The growth in exports in August 2025 was driven by strong performances in both manufactured and agricultural goods, with agriculture exports rebounding from the negative growth recorded in July 2025. The formation of the Malaysia Sustainable Palm Oil, or MSPO, Impact Alliance is expected to boost the competitiveness of the nation's palm oil industry. Plantation and Commodities Minister Datuk Seri Johari Abdul Ghani said the move will also ensure the sector complies with global sustainability standards. According to Johari, the coalition was formed through collaboration between the government and various stakeholders to solidify Malaysia's palm oil position in the global market.
Bila kita bawa big brand yang tadi kita tengok atas stage tadi adalah salah satu daripada usaha untuk meningkatkan kredibiliti dan kemantapan MSPO ni di pentas dunia. Sebab itu kita invite semua di international ni, and some of them mula-mula dia a bit reluctant. Tapi bila dia tengok kita very consistent in pursuing this subject about MSPO, so slowly they embrace into it and they accept it.
The MSPO Impact Alliance is a multi-stakeholder platform established to accelerate the inclusive transformation of Malaysia's palm oil industry. It brings together 28 founding members, including plantation companies, smallholder representatives, non-governmental organizations and international bodies. It also underscores Malaysia's commitment to sustainability following the recognition of MSPO certification by the European Union as a trusted standard.
Small businesses power Malaysia's economy, but the rhythm is changing. Digital shifts, rising costs and sustainability pressures are reshaping the SME landscape. The challenge now isn't survival, it's evolution. Muhammad Ahmad Hamdan speaks with SME Association of Malaysia President Dr. Chin Chi Siong, only on Money Matters this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Naim Daniel's trial to begin in December. This and more after this short break.
Susah buat pilihan. Boleh tolong saya?
Unlocking the future of business.
From industry evolutions to policy changes, we go beyond the headlines.
Deep insights, sharp analysis.
Understanding the forces driving tomorrow's economy.
Key financial insights that drive decisions.
This is Money Matters, every Saturday, 5 p.m.
Only on TV3 and stream now on Tonton.
Kata negara ni kan apa? Orang kampung ni jangan cakap lah memang favourite dia orang lah.
Kalau dulu dia orang memang tak ambil. Kalau dapat pun dia orang lepas balik. Dia sebab rupa lah mungkin. Terkenal dengan gula terpoyok sama asero. Memang dia tengok ikan kenerak ni memang dia beli walaupun mahal. Kebebe namanya.
Kebebe ni makanan orang Patani Lenggong. Dah wujud ratusan tahun.
Kita makan santai-santai je. Masa gotong royong atau petang-petang hari. Aroma dia tu membangkitkan selera.
Untuk anda yang ke Ipoh, pelbagailah menu yang kita boleh pilih. Dia punya kuah memang betul-betul pekat dan rasa dia punya manis udang tu tau. Tengok dia punya portion dia. Air terjun. Tengok tu, pekat. Besar betul. Rasa rempah-rempah dia tau. Rempah tu rasa macam sup. Warna dia. Dia punya lembut macam ni. Betul-betul menyelerakan. Jangan lupa saksikan Jalan-Jalan Cari Makan Misi Mencari Kari setiap hari Ahad 11.30 pagi di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. The trial of singer and actor Naim Daniel, who was charged in June with committing physical sexual assault against a 17-year-old girl, has been scheduled for December. The Putrajaya Sessions Court confirmed the dates during case management, marking the next stage of proceedings in the high-profile case. According to the charge sheet, 28-year-old Naim, whose full name is Muhammad Naim Daniel Baharin, is accused of committing the offence against a 17-year-old girl at a hotel in Petaling Jaya on May 19th. During Friday's case management, Judge Datin M. Kuna Sundari fixed the trial dates for December 15th, 16th and 18th. The court also set October 17th to hear the prosecution's application for the victim to testify via video link. The defence, however, has objected to the request on the grounds that she is due to turn 18 in October. Naim pleaded not guilty to the charge at the same court on June 17th this year. The charge, framed under the Sexual Offences Against Children Act, carries a maximum prison sentence of 20 years and whipping upon conviction. In Perlis, a teenager was arrested after more than 517,000 vape devices and accessories worth 12.3 million ringgit were seized during a raid at a warehouse in Padang Besar. The operation, conducted on August 12 in Kampung Kolam, also uncovered unpaid duties amounting to 2.6 million ringgit, marking the largest seizure in Perlis so far this year. Police Customs Director Ismail Hashim said the 19-year-old suspect was detained for allegedly acting as the caretaker of the warehouse, which is owned by his father. The modus operandi involved storing the devices without any official importation documents. The items were sourced from China, brought in through the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, and later moved to the warehouse at a transit point. Initial investigations revealed that the warehouse was being used to smuggle the items into Thailand. The individuals involved also failed to produce valid import documents or proof of tax payments. The case is being investigated under the Customs Act. In Pahang, a camping trip turned tragic when a tree fell on a campsite in Janda Baik, leaving one woman dead and two others injured. The 7:15 a.m. incident occurred when all three victims were resting inside their tent. State Fire and Rescue Department Public Relations Officer Zulfadli Zakaria said the department received a distress call just before 8 a.m. Upon arrival, firefighters discovered that a 15-meter tall tree had fallen on a tent with three people inside. The victim, identified as 38-year-old Herini Muhammad Ali, died at the scene from severe head injuries, while her 43-year-old husband, Saidi Long, and 7-year-old child sustained injuries and were rushed to Bentong Hospital for treatment. Pahang Police Chief Datuk Sri Yahaya Othman said authorities are investigating whether the campsite had been operating with proper approval and if it had applied adequate safety protocols. Strong tremors hit Russia and Indonesia. The details when Nightline returns.
Unlocking the future of business.
From industry evolutions to policy changes, we go beyond the headline.
Deep insights, sharp analysis.
Understanding the forces driving tomorrow's economy.
key financial insights that drive decisions.
This is Money Matters, every Saturday, 5 p.m.
Only on TV3 and stream now on Tonton.
Bersamamu kali ini menyelami kisah sebuah keluarga yang mengalami kesempitan hidup.
Saya masa pergi hospital dan disahkan abang saya, suami saya lah, dapat penyakit kanser, usus tahap 3. Dan kami terasa macam tak boleh nak terima kenyataan. Rasa kehidupan tu macam berubah. Kami memang tak boleh nak terima. Tapi fikir balik, itu ujian buat kami. Kami terimalah, reda.
Aku nak umumkan bonus gaji sebulan untuk anda semua.
IC, untuk register. IC pula.
10,000.
Cik ambil ni lah, cik. Bawa belanja. Saya tengok cik sedih sangat. Ambil lah.
Nak kena dia orang ni.
Boleh saya bantu? Jumaat dan Sabtu 9 malam. Di Lestari TV3 dan stream 24 jam lebih awal ditonton.
Caca ni talented tau. Tapi kenapa tak jadi artis untuk drama, Tonton?
Bukan tak nak. Cuma tinggi Caca tak cukup. Lepas tu duit tabung dah habis sebab langgan tonton.
Top 5 Carta Muzik-Muzik 40 minggu ini.
Onto the foreign front. A magnitude 7.8 earthquake has struck the Kamchatka region in Russia's far east in what the U.S. Geological Survey has called an aftershock from a massive earlier quake in July. The local geophysical survey said the quake hit at 6:58 p.m. local time, with its epicenter about 150 kilometers from Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky at a depth of 39 kilometers. Several aftershocks followed, the strongest measuring 5.8. Kamchatka Governor Vladimir Solodov confirmed a tsunami alert was issued for the eastern coast and parts of the Kuril Islands north of Japan. He said all emergency services are on high alert, though no damage has been reported. Authorities warned waves could reach up to 1.5 meters in some areas, while in Petropavlovsk, the region's main city, waves are expected to remain under 10 centimeters. Meanwhile, a shallow magnitude 6.1 earthquake struck Indonesia's central Papua province early Friday with no initial reports of casualties. The U.S. Geological Survey said the epicenter was located 28 kilometers south of Nabire at a depth of 10 kilometers. But Indonesia's Meteorology and Geophysical Agency recorded it as a 6.5 quake at a depth of 24 kilometers, adding that about 50 aftershocks had been detected, with the strongest measuring 5.1 as of 7:30 a.m. Jakarta time. Several public facilities were damaged, but no deaths or injuries have been reported. Indonesia, a vast archipelago, is prone to frequent quakes as it sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, a major arc of tectonic activity that stretches from Japan through Southeast Asia and across the Pacific.
Job
On to sports now, badminton and the 2025 China Masters. After a thrilling quarterfinals in the Super 750 tournament, only 2 Malaysian representatives remain in the hunt for the title. Men's double stars Aaron Chia and Soh Wei Yik booked their semi-final spot after dominating Indonesia's Leo Rolly Fernando and Bagas Maulana in straight sets 21-19, 21-18. The world number 2 pair will next face India's Satwik Sairaj Ran Kiredi and Shiraj Shetty, setting up a blockbuster clash. Earlier, world mixed doubles champions Chen Tangji and Toh Iwei extended their winning streak to 8 matches, outlasting Hong Kong's Sun Chunman and Se Ying Sweat 21-12, 12-21, 21-17. They will now meet home favourites Feng Yanzhe and Huang Dongping for a place in the final. Meanwhile, Buletin and M. Tina narrowly missed out on their 8th semi-final in 9 tournaments, falling to Korea's Baek Hana and Lee So-hee in a nail-biting decider. Goh Zifei and Nur Izzuddin Muhammad Rumsani also crashed out, losing to Indonesia's Fajar Alfian and Muhammad Rian Ardianto. Football now, the Super League. Terengganu FC bounced back from the horrendous defeat to Selangor FC last month with a resounding 4-0 win over Melaka FC on Friday night. The Turtles went on a first-half rampage, scoring all 4 goals before the break. Yan Mabella opened the floodgates in the 27th minute before Nurilo Tasinov calmly finished off a brilliant pass to double the lead. Brazilian striker Anderson added a third from the penalty spot in the 45th minute, and Mabella sealed his brace just 5 minutes later to put the result beyond doubt. The big win lifts Terengganu to second place in the standings with 10 points, while Melaka slipped to 10th with just 3. And that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look at divers inspecting objects from the wreck of the Britannic, the Titanic's sister ship, which sank off Greece in 1916. With that, I'm Nadia Azmi. Thank you for watching and stay safe.